That's what they do. They mess your stream. They mess your stream up. So Steven Silas is out as head coach, which in my opinion is crap. It's big crap. Big crap, big crap. So Steven Silas is going to be let go because I guess the Rockets didn't get better, but how are you going to get better? You have no veterans on your team. You have nothing but young players. And Steven Silas, you could tell, was getting frustrated because the players that they had on the team were knuckleheads. You got Jalen Green and Smith going at it. What's up, Christian? Chilling, man. Looking at this BS, man. Upset that Steven got let go like he did. What's up, Daryl Jones? Yeah, he was set up to fail. What up, Mello? What's up, Mr. CM23? Well, yeah, he was set up to fail. We all know that. Because we knew that when he took the job. I knew that. I really didn't like that job for him. I felt like he should have got a better job than that. But, you know, they always give us the weak jobs. They give guys like Steve Nash a head coaching job of two of probably the best players of this era. But Steven can't get a job. That's what I'm saying, Christian. It just goes to show you that, okay, you have Steve Nash. Steve Nash has no coaching experience. He's able to get a championship caliber roster. Steven Silas has to go to a team that ain't got nothing on it. It's crazy. Oh, yeah, I already know. He's a terrible owner. But my thing is this. These owners continuously do this. They hire the black coach to coach a mediocre team. And then at the end of the day, they expect them to do well with that team. Right. They got rid of Westbrook, Harden, Christian Wood, and gave him some young, undisciplined players. But this is what I'm saying. Why is it that Steven Silas gets the job in Houston? Why couldn't he get the job in Brooklyn? Why couldn't he coach Brooklyn? Why did Steve Nash get a chance? Steve Nash was a mediocre player to me, dog. I've had this argument with people about Steve Nash. I felt like his 2 MVPs were given to him. I don't believe he should have got them. You had guys like Charles Barkley capping for him like he always do. He always capped for his white masters. So we know with Charles Barkley what side of the pendulum he's on. Right. They want Nick Nurse in Houston. Why? I bet. Watch when Nick Nurse go there. Watch they go get talented players. They're gonna bring in some talented veterans. Steve Nash wasn't great. Yeah, the system he was in, he was a great player for a system, but Steve Nash wasn't a great player. He was a good player. He wasn't great. He was a good, solid player, a good, solid starter, but he wasn't great. If I put him on a team with a bunch of nobodies, I just really don't believe he would have succeeded. Like if you changed him and Kobe, if you were able to switch them, you switch Kobe, put him on the Suns, and you put Nash on the Lakers, that team for the Lakers doesn't get to the playoffs. Yeah, that's what I said. He was a great player for a great system. Yeah, Nick Nurse lived off of what Casey built. Yeah, of course he did. He basically did what Steve Kerr did and Phil Jackson did. Take a team that was already built and just screwed the other coach out of it. Doug Collins is still pissed today. You know, Doug Collins, man. Doug Collins want to choke somebody. He still want to choke somebody after that. Yeah, Nick Nurse overrated. We know Nick Nurse is overrated. What has Nick Nurse done since the Raptors? See, nobody talks about Nick Nurse. What has Nick Nurse done since the Raptors, since they got rid of not get rid of, since they lost Kawhi? What have they done? Have they done anything? No, they haven't. Well, I would trade one of them. I would have given up, but see, they should have traded one of those guys. They never traded him. Go back and look at that roster, Daryl. They added pieces to that roster that benefited him. He got Amari Stoudemire. Then he got a guy who nobody gives credit to, Leandro Barbosa. Then they had Sean Marion. Then they had another guy, I think from the 96 draft, who's very underrated, Tim Thomas. Tim Thomas was one of their defensive guys. Then they had another guy off the bench named Joe Johnson. Go back and watch that team and all the pieces they added to that team. I mean, dog, he had a squad. He had a squad. Steve Nash, all he had to do was run the system and he'll be fine. Because the team the year before, they didn't have all them players on their team. But each year, the Suns messed themselves up. They got rid of all them players. They should have kept the players on the team. But Joe Johnson wanted more money other places. They could have gave him. They also had Q Rich on those teams. Q Rich was very intricate role player. Look, Steve Nash was a great player for that system. But overall, he was just okay. Well, during that time, they didn't really need a center no more, Melo, because the era of the center was dead, really. Shaq was basically the last center. Then you had Yao Ming. Yao Ming was going to revolutionize what the center does, which is shoot from the three, the mid range, scoring the post, and he also could rim protect. But Yao Ming was going to be the last center. And then you had Mark Gasol. He was a center. You had Ben Wallace. You had Dwight Howard. Those guys would be power forwards in the 90s or the 80s. Yeah, Joe Johnson, Sean Mary, Amari, Antonio McDyess, and Stephon Marbury there the year before. Yeah, they had them there the year before, but Mike D'Antoni and the system made that team go. Steve Nash in Dallas was just okay. He wasn't as great as he was until he got in that system. He was okay in Dallas, but the guy was Dirk Nowitzki. That was the guy who was getting it going. If he'd have stayed with Dirk, I believe they would have been a better 1-2 punch than he would have been in Phoenix. Like I said, he's okay, though. I mean, he's not in my top 15 point guards. He's probably like a top 20 point guard. I don't think he's better than a lot of point guards from the 80s, the 90s. To me, he was good for the system he was in, but I couldn't translate him to any other era or any other system. Yeah, that's what I said. I agree with you. Like, he's a great player for that system. But if I take him out of that system, Steve Nash was okay. Yeah, T-Mac couldn't stay healthy and Yao couldn't stay healthy. They both got hurt around the same time all the time. Oh, yeah, everybody knew Colorado did that to Kobe. What's up, Luke? Harden is better than Nash. Harden doesn't need a system. Harden can play in any system because Harden knows how to control the pace of the game and he can score. Harden is basically a point guard. He's basically a point guard slash two guard. Right, Mello. Well, AB, they got rid of Steven Silas because they want to get a white guy in there. They feel that the team is only going to go so far with him. So now they're going to bring in their white guy, which is Nick Nurse, most likely. And plus, he was bumping heads with the players because they're immature. First of all, you should have got rid of either Kevin Porter or Jalen Green and went from there. You should have had a veteran on the team, like a guy like Udonis Haslem on the team. To me, you could have brought a veteran in there to help. Yeah, it takes a lot of time to develop them. Well, we know that, DC. Yeah, the point guard is like a quarterback, but also a point guard is a great point guard because I could put them in on any team or put them around any player and they're going to be great. Like Isaiah Thomas made the Pistons. He made that team. Yeah, Chuck Daly was a phenomenal coach, but Isaiah Thomas made him and that team. Magic Johnson made Pat Riley. Um, what's another guy? Gary Payton. Gary Payton made George Karl's system. Jason Kidd, everywhere he went, he just made it better. It's like, what are we doing? John Stockton, John Stockton made that Utah team. Even though Jerry Sloan is a hell of a coach, but John Stockton made his system better. Then he was able to get Darren Williams. Rajon Rondo could shoot, but he's not a great shooter. But you could put Rajon Rondo in that system. Um, Rajon Rondo could run the D'Antoni system. You don't have to be a prolific shooter in the system. His system is more 7 seconds or less. How can I get the ball to this guy? I've seen Rondo in any system play. He'll make the system great. The problem that him and D'Antoni would have faced was the lack of defense that D'Antoni taught. That's the only reason why they wouldn't have worked out, is because D'Antoni doesn't like defense. Rondo would have been stressing defense, and also we got to get the ball here, get the ball there. Him and Rondo would have fought because of an ideology clash. Jason Kidd could run the D'Antoni. A lot of guys could have ran that system. Yeah, the Denver Nuggets of the 80s, yeah, they were a very high scoring team. Alex English and all them boys. Yeah, Denver Nuggets was a serious team. That's what I'm saying. But the reason they didn't win a lot is because defensively, they weren't able to shut certain people down. Oh, they traded him for money to Boston. Oh man, I forgot about that. Thanks for letting me know, Mello. Yeah, but Rondo wouldn't have fit in with that. He wouldn't have fit in with D'Antoni because D'Antoni don't preach defense. That's why the Suns, if you look at when they were under Alvin Gentry, they were a better defensive team than they were with Mike D'Antoni. Alvin Gentry kept the offense of Mike D'Antoni, but he preached defense. That year was one of the best years Steve Nash played. I'll give him that. Nash was doing his thing on both sides of the court. And I felt like Alvin Gentry brought a more physical presence. That's why the Suns got to the Western Conference Finals. People forget that. Alvin Gentry got the Suns to the Western Conference Finals. They lost to Kobe. They lost to Kobe that year, and Kobe went on to beat who did he beat? Beat the Celtics that year. If D'Antoni could have ever preached a little bit of defense, the Suns would have had a championship. Maybe two of them. But Steven Silas should not have been let go. They should have traded either Kevin Porter. Daryl Jones said it earlier. Kevin Porter and Green don't mix at all. You should have got rid of one of those guys, and your team would have been successful. Well, Harden to me is more of a point guard than two guard. It's just that he could score. He could score like a two guard, but he also could facilitate like a point guard. James Harden is very unique with the style of play he plays. Those years that Curry won that MVP, James Harden should have won those MVPs. Because James Harden had Houston, he had them always in contention. Yeah, kind of like Big O. Yep, DC. The only difference is Big O could play defense. James could play a little defense, but not as much. Not as much though. Yeah, Kevin Porter's gonna get traded. Well, one of them gonna get traded. It don't matter who you trade as long as you get rid of one of them guys, Kevin Porter, or you get rid of what's his name? You can get rid of Kevin Porter. You can get rid of Kevin Porter, or you could get rid of I forgot his name. Jalen Green. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Harden had some of the best seasons out of all them guys. That's why I was like, everybody was talking about Curry. I was like, dog. James Harden had better seasons than Curry. Personally, early on. He said trade both. They wear nail polish. Mellow stupid. Yeah, Green is the future. I agree. Oh yeah, they're gonna flip that roster for Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse is gonna change that whole roster up. And they gonna be straight. Watch. Yeah, 2015 and 17, Harden should have won. I agree, Daryl Clark. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Made me want to work harder. They gonna trade. You think they gonna get rid of Kenyon's son? Kenyon's son ought to go to shoot. He'll fit in over there and damn. Trying to think, what was the team name? I think Kenyon Martin Jr. ought to go to either OKC or Dallas. He said, "Yep, Harden is a great regular season champion. What it do, baby? What up, T-Hub? I don't blame him. Shit, people tired of losing. That's what I said. Steven Silas probably got frustrated and cussed their ass out. He probably was tired of their ass, man. I don't blame him, man. These young players today are so sensitive, you can't tell them nothing. You can't tell their ass nothing. What's up, Dante? Because he always losing finals. No, there wasn't no LeBron era. I was arguing with this LeBron fan. He's still hitting me up on Facebook. Bro, LeBron James, I keep telling y'all, is not a top 100 player. People gonna say I'm hating. Cool. But it's the truth. Like, dude, what era has he dominated? Kobe Bryant dominated from 2002 to 2010. If not 11 and 12, he was if he'd have never tore his Achilles, he probably would have dominated that era. Yeah, there was never a LeBron James era. When was it? This is Steph Curry's era. The 2010s were Steph Curry's era. That was Steph Curry's era. It wasn't no damn LeBron James. LeBron ain't run nothing. Then LeBron James tried to form a bunch of souped up teams. I don't call it super teams, but he stacked his teams. So the Warriors were like, bet, we'll go get KD. And whooped his ass twice. Yeah, 2001 to 2010, or I got him 2002. I got him 2002 to 2010. 2001, he was starting to get there. But 2002 to 2010, everybody voted him the best basketball player, if not the best closer in the game. So what are we talking about? Dirk's better than LeBron James. Not even close. LeBron has been the most overrated and overpacified superstar I've ever seen in history. And it's a shame because LeBron, like, he had so much promise to be the greatest ever to play the game. Right, he lost more. If you're going to say that, then Wilt Chamberlain's the GOAT then. If you're going to say that, because Wilt Chamberlain's dominated more categories than him. So is Kareem. So is Akeem Olajuwon. Akeem Olajuwon's dominated more categories than LeBron. So what are we talking about? Why are we stuck in this twilight zone? What player does he have a winning record against? He don't have a winning record against anybody. Kevin Durant has beaten him twice in the finals. Steph Curry has beaten him twice. Beat him 3 times in the finals. What's up, Phil G? Right, exactly, Dion. Yeah, Paul Silas was great. But Steven Silas, he should have never been done like that. He should have got a chance. They should have put some better pieces in his team. Yeah, Duncan beat him. Yeah, Duncan beat him twice. Yep. Yeah, Kawhi beat him once. Right. Kawhi beat him once. Yep. 22-33 finals record. Exactly. Jerry West was a better player than LeBron. Jerry West only lost because they couldn't beat the Celtics. The Celtics had a way better team than Jerry had. That's the only reason why Jerry lost, but Jerry wasn't losing to like every damn body in his era. Yeah, Phil G, the Rockets coach, Steven Silas, they fired him. He should have never got fired. He had too many young guys on the team, too many parts that didn't fit. He should have got a chance. And my thing is this, Phil G. Why couldn't he get a coaching job for a team that had a stacked team where he could get to a championship? Why? But Steve Nash has zero coaching experience, but he was able to coach probably one of the greatest players of this era, along with one of the most skilled players that we've seen since Kobe Bryant. And he was allowed to use these guys, but Steven Silas was stuck with a bunch of knuckleheads. Come on. It's bullshit. Yeah, LeBron should be 0-3. I agree. He should be. He should have lost to the Thunder. But they screwed the Thunder on that game 2 where he pushed KD. They didn't call the foul. He should have lost that game, but Ray Allen hit that shot to win the series. And then they should have never beat Golden State because they got Draymond suspended. And then the bubble, I don't even count the bubble because everybody's players didn't play. Yeah, he should be 0-3 versus Tim Duncan. Exactly. Exactly, Dante. Yeah, Phil G, the Rockets organization is very unstable. He said small stroke Nash. You stupid, T-Hub. Nobody count. Yeah, nobody count that damn bubble. The only ones who counted is the LeBron fans. The LeBron fans are the only ones who be defending this chump. He a chump. He is a chump. He should have never had 3. They gave him 3. Yeah, that ring pop. Oh, absolutely, Melo. The Rockets potentially could have made the championship game. Because think about it. They started coming together and defensively they got better. Mike D'Antoni's team was playing defense because Russell Westbrook is a great leader. That's something they needed. DC stupid. Yeah, that's true. Hey, man, I can't help it, man. Shoot. Yeah, Westbrook and Harden was killing. Everybody forgets that. I don't know how. Yeah, they did. They had the highest scoring duo. Yep. Oh, yeah, AB, I know you a Rockets fan. I already know you are. Yeah, they was going hard, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just wish they would have stayed with Steve. If they would have stayed with Steve, I believe Russ and Harden, they would have been even better. I really believe they would have been better. It's just that James Harden, he missed his GM wasn't there no more, so that messed him up. But I believe if him and Russ would have stayed, Steve would have been okay. Steve would have kept his job and would have kept doing what he got to do. Mm-hmm. Right, Melo. Make sure y'all hit the like button. We got 18 people in here, only 7 likes. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Yeah, Steve Nash can't coach at all. That's the problem. Like Steve Silas, man, if he would have had a team like the Nets, man, he'd have been bezeled. He would have been fine. They wouldn't have said nothing. The Mavericks thing, mind blowing. Man, I don't want to hear none from the media until they answer LeBron James EPO allegations. All I gotta say about all to these LeBron fans, PED/EPO. Prove to me that you didn't take that crap. Prove to me that. Can you prove to me you ain't take that? Right, they picking and choosing when they want to investigate. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what they do, man. That's what they do. That's what they do, man. That's what they do. Mm-hmm. But Steve should have never got let go. But yeah, I'm gonna holler at you guys later. I gotta wake up real early in the morning, so you guys be safe. I'm out. Deezy.